Good morning, guys. This is Becca and little Brooklyn. Brooklyn is my baby of the day, and she is adorable. They're so sweet. Well, it's time for Rocking with Becca. And today, guys, you're going to be getting the raw footage of me. This is totally an unprepared, unscripted video. I have not thought it out. I don't have any plans. Just totally unscripted. The only thing I have thought of is my shout out for today is little Ohana. I will have her link in the title. I'd like for you to go over to her channel and check her out. I try to give a shout out to, right now I'm working on the videos, the people that I'm subscribed to that has under 1,000 subscribers. I'm trying to give them shout outs and help them grow their channels. So I've been doing them in alphabetical order. As you know, you can go into your subscribers, one or the people you're subscribed to, and bring them up in alphabetical order. And I've been going in alphabetical order, but like I said, this video has been unprepared completely. And the reason I thought of little Ohana is because I just got through watching one of her videos. So I just clicked on her channel and went into her main part of her channel to see how many subscribers she has. And she has 728 subscribers. And she does short, sweet videos. I love her. I watch every one of her videos. And it's like the icing on the cake. You know, they're short, they're sweet, and they're fun. And so I'd love for you to go over and check her out. If you're not subscribed to her, subscribe to her and let her know I sent you. I'm yawning today, guys. Please forgive me. Okay, let me go ahead and say this. If you're new to my channel, every Saturday I try to do the series Rocking with Becca. And that's where I come on, sitting in my rocking chair, holding a baby, and just chat with you. Sometimes there may be a topic I'm talking about or a question that I'm answering that someone asked me. Or I may just be sitting here chatting, just telling you about my health and what's going on in my life. And that's basically what today is going to be about, because I haven't thought about, you know, how to put together this video. I just come on and we're just gonna wing it. So that's what Rocking with Becca is all about. And it's usually a longer video because it is a chatting video. So it's usually longer than just my regular weekly videos, although sometimes they can get long. But anyway, I'm sorry, I'll probably be yawning all throughout this video because I'm totally exhausted. I'm exhausted in my mind, in my emotions, and in my body. I'm totally exhausted. So, I don't know where to start. Not having a goal or, you know, program figured out. As you, if you've watched my previous videos, you know that my hubby had to have a procedure done Thursday. And also, if you've been around very long, you know that I have anxiety, social anxiety, very bad. I also have anxiety when I have to leave my house. Social anxiety affects me in the way of I avoid communication with physical people. Now, I love virtual communications. What I mean by virtual is here through, you know, you're real people, but what I'm talking about, you know, we only communicate through comments and excuse me, and I do videos, you know, and talk and things like that, but it's not like having a physical person that I have to talk with. And whether, to be honest, in any manner, whether it would be personally face to face or on the phone or text or, you know, I don't know. I've had a history of having to be alone and cope with it back when I didn't want to be alone, and it drove me just about as crazy to not have communication and to not get out of the house as it drives me batty now when I have to have communication and have to get out of the house. But there was nothing I could do about it. I tried in every way I could when I was younger. I tried to, you know, have places to go and things to do and people to be with, and they always backfired on me. They always, you know, the people only wanted me around when they wanted me around, and if they didn't want me around, they wouldn't answer their phone, or they closed the door in my face when I went to their house. Or, you know, I faced a lot of things back in my younger days of I don't know. Now, as long as I was living in another state I'm not in now, when I was living in that other state, it wasn't like that. The people, they give and they took, just like I gave and I took. In other words, we both contributed to the relationship. I would do things they wanted to do. They would do things I wanted to do. They never avoided me. They never, you know, they were there for me. They were friends. True friends. But when I moved back to the state I'm in now, I don't know what it is. Or it just might have been because time was going by and it was the day and age we were living in. I don't know. You know, I was getting older, midlife, and, you know, people had changed through the years and stuff like that. But it's like when I moved back to the state I'm in now, people only wanted to be your friend as long as you did it their way. They wasn't willing to do it your way. As long as I was going to them, to their house, or doing what they wanted to do on their time schedule, they were happy to do something with you. But if it was something you wanted to do, you wanted them to come to your house, or me, I'm talking about, as long as when I wanted them to come to my house or go do something I wanted to do, or do it on the time I could do it, then they never gave in that way. They never gave in that way. And like I said, I've been to a couple of different people's house where, well, one lady, she didn't just actually close the door in my face, but when I knocked on the door, I had called and called and called, and she wouldn't answer. So I was concerned about her. So I went to her house and knocked on her door, and she opened it up just enough I could see her face. And she just barely answered the questions I asked her. And she didn't open the door up and invite me in. So I left. And that was the last time I went to her house. Then there was another young lady that I went to her house. I was just out and about, didn't have nothing else to do, and she was actually a family member by marriage, and I was going to go visit her one day. So, you know, I guess things just change. People don't want you just showing up. Where back when I was in the other state, you know, people would just show up at your house and visit you, and that was fine. Or you show up at theirs and visit, and that was fine. But I guess things had changed by the time I got back to this state. And this young lady, I went to visit her. And when I knocked on her door, she came to the door, stepped out on the porch, and closed the door behind her. And she told me she couldn't invite me in. That her house wasn't clean. And she was ashamed of it. And she didn't want to invite me in. So we talked a few minutes and I left. And that was the last time I went to her house. My own family members, I beg them to call me, beg them to come see me. No matter how much I begged them, they wouldn't do it. I had to do the calling and the going to see. One of my sisters, not where she's living now, and it was before she had moved to a far off state and stayed gone for a while. She's back in this state now, but it was back before she moved out of the state. Mom lived with her, and she had a 2-story house, and her bedroom and her office, she worked. Husband had a trucking company, and she was the dispatcher. And I would go see Mom and stay an hour or so with Mama. And my sister never come down. She knew I was there. I mean, she knew I was there. But she'd never come down to see me while I was there in her house. I would stay there an hour or so and leave and never see her. I wasn't going to go up to her bedroom because even though it was her office / bedroom, that was her private area up there. I wasn't going to go up there and mess with her. I mean, she knew I was at her house. She knew I was there, but she wouldn't come down and see me. And when I said anything to her about it, she said, well, you didn't come up to see me. You could have come. And I told her, I said, well, I'm sorry. That was your private room. You knew I was there. I came to see you and Mama. It wasn't my place to go look you down in your house to visit you. So, I faced a lot of rejection through my earlier days, and being alone and having to cope, and it took me years, guys. I'd be in just as bad a shape trying to cope with being alone as I get now when I have to socialize. But I had to learn to cope with that. I had to learn to deal with that. I had to learn to make my own happiness. I had to learn to enjoy being by myself. And I finally reached that place past couple of years. It ain't been, it's just been since 2020 that I've gotten like I am now. And it gradually got worse from 2020 to now. But, you know, we was in lockdown in 2020 and couldn't see anybody. And then after that was, you know, we was no longer in lockdown, I did still go out a time or two, and Mama was living with me at that time, and I had to take her out to the doctor, and, you know, I still went out and did things, and at that point in time, but I was getting to where every time it was time for one of Mama's doctor's appointments, and she had a lot of them. We were constantly going to the doctor because she went to so many different doctors for different things that was wrong with her. And it would get to where I would get in just, and I didn't know what was wrong, but I would get in just such a shape. Oh, I've got to go out again. I've got to take Mama to the doctor again. And I would be in such a nervous shape that I just about couldn't handle it. And the past 2 times I had taken Mama to the doctor, in the town an hour away, for, you know, because her specialist, they don't have any specialists here in the town we live in. And she had a lung doctor and a pain management doctor and a dermatologist and, you know, just different doctors that she had to go to. And the last 2 times I took her to one of the doctors in the town an hour away, I was in such a nervous shape that I would overthink things in my driving because I was nervous. And for some reason, them cars whizzing by me just unnerved me. And we come to near, or what I felt like was near accidents the last 2 times I took her. And it would have been my fault, because, you know, when I'd see a car, I'd jerk, you know, and it just, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. But I finally told my husband, even before Mama moved out, I told him, I said, I'm sorry to have to put this on you. He was already going out buying groceries and stuff at that time. And I said, I am so sorry to have to put this on you, but there is no way that I can drive in that city again. There's no way I can do it. I'm going to have to try to get Mama's appointments on days that you're off from work, and you're going to have to take us because I just can't do it. So it just gradually got worse and worse, and so hubby was taking us to all of our appointments that was out of, you know, the town we live in, and he was doing all the grocery buying by that time. And well, he kind of picked that up and started that during the lockdown, because you know, we had to have groceries, and you could still go get groceries, but you had to wear a mask, you know, and only a certain amount of people could go in at a time and things like that. So I just let him take over the grocery buying. I've always done all the bill paying, you know, online. So if there was something he needed to handle in town, you know, that I couldn't do online, you know, he would do that, whatever. And from that point, I I don't know. I pulled in to myself. Now, I do, I still need communication with people, and that's where YouTube comes in, and Facebook, and things like that. No, Mason. That's where that comes in. And that kind of gives me some communication without actually having to socialize. And I guess I'm telling you all of this. Anyway, what I was saying, let me finish this and then I'll get back to that. It finally just got to the point that I just didn't go out at all unless I had to. And then when Mama left, moved in with my older sister, I completely quit going anywhere except for to my doctor's appointments. And I would actually cancel the appointments because I would get in such a shape having to leave the house. I would cancel the appointment over and over and over and to the point that I felt like if I cancel this appointment one more time, they're going to quit taking me. They're going to tell me they're not going to see me anymore. And so it would get to the point I felt like, okay, I've got to do, I've got to go to keep my doctor. I've got to go. And, well, since hubby has semi-retired, he only works 30 days a week. So now, even my appointments here in town, I try to get them on either Thursday or Friday so he can be with me, take me, and make me go. Because if it was me, I'd probably still be canceling appointments to the point I felt like I had to go or they wouldn't accept me anymore. But I guess I told you all of that because I'm having a rough time. As far as yesterday, as long as I kept busy, I thought, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. But Thursday, when we had to go for hubby's appointment, his procedure, I think that was the hardest time that I have ever had trying to leave the house. And if it would have been me, I probably would have canceled the appointment. But it wasn't me, it was hubby. And there was no way I was going to let him go by himself. I mean, he wouldn't be by himself. My son was taking him, but I'm talking about there's no way I would have sat at home and not went with him. No matter how, I would have had to been totally out of my mind to not go with him, no matter how I felt. But it was so hard Thursday. Oh my goodness. I had so much anxiety and I felt like I could just scream if it would have helped. And I was in such a nervous, jittery shape. But it didn't affect me so much, although I felt that. I guess I controlled it to an extent for hubby's sake, so I could be there with him and help him. And, because the procedure he was having that was putting him to sleep, and there's no way I would have sat at home while they were going to be putting him to sleep, because you never know what happened. He's never had any problems with anesthesia before, but you never know, or what they would have found, I just wanted to be there for him for moral support. So I guess even though I was in such an uproar, I kind of pushed it and kept it down enough because it was for hubby, But then yesterday, like I said, as long as I was busy doing my crafting, coloring, diamond painting, doing my puzzle, whatever I was doing, it as long as I was busy, actively busy, with my mind occupied with something, I felt okay. But when I sat down and there was nothing going on, and I was just sitting there watching, a video or whatever, without my mind really occupied where it could think, I realized what a situation I was in emotionally and mentally. And I kind of feel, when you get in that shape with anxiety, you're not really depressed, but you just feel, I don't know, there's no way to explain it, how you feel. If you have anxiety, you know what I'm talking about. And today is kind of like I'm just totally exhausted and kind of down. I'm not depressed. I don't feel like crying. Definitely don't, feel like going to bed and covering my head up. But I'm feeling a little down, I guess that's the time when you're down that the devil starts throwing things at you. You're thinking about things, how rejected you are, or, whatever your situation is. And you start thinking on all these things that you try to keep and pushed away when you're feeling good. You know what I mean? And I don't know. This is supposed to be a doll video. I've actually kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of feeling, and I get this way every so often with my channel, my doll channel, and my craft channel. I do it with my craft channel. There's been times I get that way with my craft channel and I just quit making videos for a while, but I get to feeling like that I'm boring. I don't have anything interesting to say or to do. I'm just doing the same things, and people are getting tired of, just seeing the same old, and so I try to think of something I could do different, but yet still be doll connected. And I don't know, I'm just battling it today. I really am. I'm battling it today. And I almost didn't do Rocking with Becca, but you see, Rocking with Becca is a therapy for me, just like my crafting videos, coloring and diamond painting and sharing it with the crafty community. It's therapy for me. It gives me an outlet. It gives me, some way to express myself, and that's the only place I have to do it is on my videos, because I have no physical person to do it with. Guys, I'm not downing my family by no means. I love my family, love them. But just for an example of what I'm talking about, I have two sisters, one older and one younger. And we never call each other and talk. We don't know how. I mean, after all these years, I wouldn't know how to talk to one of my sisters on the phone. To just have, the only time we call each other is if there's something specific that we need to tell each other. And we can't, it's not something that we feel like we could tell over, maybe too long to text or something like that, or something important like something about mama or something like that. That's the only time we call each other. Just to call and sit and have a conversation with one of my sisters That is something I have never had the opportunity to do. We've never connected. I don't know. I've been told over and over by my younger sister that, you know, at times when I get real texty, you know, where I do a lot of texting, and she wouldn't text back. She'd go through spells of not texting back, and I'd say something to her about it. She'd blow up on me. She has to have her downtime. She has to have time that she don't text or don't talk to anybody. And these are things I've had to face and had to learn to cope with. And now that I'm at the place that I can pretty much be happy, you know, with having my YouTube family and that being all I have. You know, I have my bad days, like when I'm feeling really bad today. I have my bad days, but overall, I am totally satisfied with being at home and just having my YouTube family. My older sister pretty much let me know. I say let me. She said it over what I was saying is we have a family text group where we text, and when whoever we're talking to, we send it in the group, text group. Whoever we're talking to in that group, you know what I mean? We send it to the group for everybody to see and have the opportunity to talk and comment on it. But my older sister, she hardly ever chimes in to any of the conversations. She doesn't like anything that me and my younger sister likes. Me and my younger sister are more alike in our personalities. We like to craft and, you know, do YouTube and things like that. My older sister, she's not into anything that me and my younger sister are in. She doesn't read. Me and my younger sister reads. And, you know, my older sister's just not into anything that me and my younger sister is. And she won't, you know, she won't chime in. She won't talk. She hardly ever does anything more than says good morning and good night on the group text. Like I said, I'm not down in my family. I love them no matter what. But I'm just trying to explain some of the things that I'm going through and why I've gotten in the shape I am now. But used to, whenever it would really bother me, let me say, just within the past last year, I'm gonna say it. I gotta stop doing it this year, I'm gonna say. But used to, I'd get in such a shape that they wouldn't communicate with me, wouldn't text back, you know, and I felt like I was bothering them. So I would tell them, you know, how I felt and how, you know, I wish they would be more communicative, and, you know, and it's a shame that sisters can't have, you know, I just tell them how I felt. Well, my older sister texted, and this is what stopped me from saying it. And yes, I still communicate, if you want to call that, with her. We still have our text group. But she said, what we need to do is be more positive and only post things that are happy and positive. Okay? Here you have a sister that really needs some help and support, that's dying for, just hungry and just starving for some kind of communication with her family And I need someone that will be there for me in my bad times as well as my good times. Because life is not all happy. So when she said that, I said, okay. If that's the way you want it, that's the way you're going to get it. I mean, why call, why stir the water? Just give them what they want. That way, they won't be suffering, it'll be you. And you just have to learn to cope with it. So, I completely quit texting, except for just saying good morning and good night. Only thing I text. Now, here recently, my younger sister and I, on my bidding, after I said I wasn't going to do it anymore, on my bidding, I wanted to get up sort of like a book club over our text group. And I thought about it, and so I text, does anybody still read? Because it's my older sister, my mom, and my younger sister, and myself that's in the text group. And my older sister said, I don't. Well, my mama didn't answer at all. She's older, and she'll send a good morning and good night, but she don't really fool with the text much anymore. And that's understandable. But my younger sister said, of course, why? And I said, or no, she said, of course, and then I didn't say nothing else. So a day or two later, she texted me back and said, you mentioned in the text the other day asking who still read. Why was you asking that? I said, well, and by that time I had decided, forget it, it wouldn't work anyway. And so when she texted me, I said, well, I thought about getting up a little book club group between us. I said, but then I remembered that my older sister, I called her name to my younger sister, I said, I remembered she don't read anymore, and I remembered that you don't really read the kind of books I read. We differ on the genre of books we like to read. And I read only Christian, if you can call it romance. I read Christian fiction books. And my sister, she likes more mystery and that suspense, that kind of book, and I don't like that. So whenever I told her that, she said, well, let's do it. So we started. Now we read, and her and I will discuss the books we read. We try to read the same book if we both can get it, and she'll only get it if it's free on her reading app. If she can't get it free, then she don't get one I want. When it's something she wants, I pay for it and get it, but she won't. If she has to pay for it, she won't get it on the books I want to read. So, it's been that way my whole life, and I have learned, or tried to learn, with a lot of heartache and sorrow along with it. I have tried to get to the place that I am happy, that I make my own happiness. I do what I want to do it the way I want to do it, when I want to do it, and learn to do it by myself and be happy with that. Another example of things I have to go through, my younger son. He never comes around. He never calls. He'll text every now and then that he's praying for us. But he never comes around. He never calls. Matter of fact, I called him Monday. He didn't answer his phone. So I left him a text and asked him was he okay. And he didn't answer till Tuesday morning. He didn't bother to call back to see, you know, to check on me or anything. He just texted back and said, good morning. I'm doing great. So if that's what makes him happy, I'm trying to learn to cope with it. Like I said, some days like today, I get emotional and I get, you know, to feeling down over certain things that happens, you know, and the way people act. But that's kind of where I'm at. I guess I shouldn't have unloaded on y'all. I really shouldn't. But like I said, another thing, this is a video. So if you start watching my video and it's something you don't want to hear, turn it off. You know, it's your privilege. You're in your own home. You're doing your own thing. Nobody's making you watch these videos. But yet it is a therapy for me, because I do feel like I'm talking to some, and that some would be interested and caring enough to listen to what I got to say and to respond to me in a positive way. You know, to be a friend. And so that's it's kind of like having a therapist that I could talk to. And yes, I'm letting the whole world know it's not just a private therapist, that they're the only one that knows what I'm saying. When I say it on YouTube, the whole world has access to it. But where some people are private and they wouldn't talk like this on video for anything, I guess I'm different. I guess I'm not that much of a private person. You know, there's very few things that I wouldn't talk about on YouTube to my friends. And I know it's not just my friends that can see these videos. Anybody that wanted to pull them up could see them and listen to me and hear me. But it is a therapy to feel like that I have someone somewhere in this world that is interested enough in me that they would listen to my videos and what I have to say and be a friend to me, to leave me, you know, good comments and have some sort of communication. Because even though I have learned to cope with being by myself, and now at this point in my life would prefer being by myself, I still have days of feeling down. And I guess after my big anxiety, I tell you, I was, you know, you can have anxiety and then you can have an anxiety attack. And Thursday, I was right on the verge of having an anxiety attack. It was the worst time I've had trying to leave the house. And I was trying my best not to show it for my husband's sake, because I didn't want to make him feel bad that, you know, I was having to get out for him, because he was concerned about me. I was concerned about him. And I was trying my best not to show my anxiety. I didn't manage to keep it hid. But Thursday was bad. It was the worst time I've had having to leave the house. And it's kind of left me exhausted. And when I get to feeling down like that, that's when I get to feeling like, oh, my videos are boring. People don't really want to see them. They're tired of seeing what I do. And you're just an old woman. And You can't do things like other people. You don't go out with your babies. You don't go out shopping. You don't have a lot of hauls. Um, you know, and now that I've decided to cut back on buying babies, adopting babies, I have less box openings, and I just feel like I'm boring, and I don't know what to do on my videos, and I get to feeling like people just really don't want to see them. And I have to tell myself, hey, you're not at their house twisting their arms making them watch your video. If they watch your videos because they wanted to. Get real, Becca, get real. You're not making them watch your videos. But still, I can't help but feel that I'm boring and nobody wants to see my videos, and I don't have anything interesting. And I guess I'm talked out. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so totally sorry. But like I said, anytime I put up a video that you get into it and it's not something you want to see or hear, just turn it off. Nobody's making you watch them. I'm doing this for me because I love doing videos. I love communicating with the YouTube community, the doll community. I love it, and so I put it out there for those that want to watch it. And if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to. Nobody's making you. So that's what I have to tell myself to keep myself going, and not just completely clamming up into a shell, and not communicating at all with people. I'm still human, and I still enjoy having communication with people, even if it is on a bare minimum of just communicating through comments on YouTube or Facebook, Anyway, it's safer that way. It's safer that way. If you don't want to answer them, you don't have to answer them, It's just safer that way. I've been hurt so many times and felt rejected and uncared for in the friendship department and really in the family department too. So, you have to do what you have to do to cope with life and to keep going. And I should not feel down today at all, but I do. I feel like my face is red. I feel like my blood pressure's high. I just feel, I don't know. I don't feel good. I feel pressure in my head. I feel hot, like my blood pressure's high and I'm flushed. But it's such a beautiful day outside, and it's not supposed to be way too hot. It's just supposed to be in the mid-80s today, and the sun is shining. We had a nice, refreshing rain all day yesterday. Today should be a very happy, joyful day. But here I am sitting here mully-grubbing and bringing y'all down with my mully-grubs. But anyway, I am thankful to be alive. I am. I'm thankful for another day. I'm thankful for the beautiful sunshine. And there was a hummingbird. Oh, it was flying right next to the window. Oh, it was so pretty. Next year, of course, it's so hot in the afternoon. I don't think a hummingbird feeder would stay fresh. Of course, I guess I could put it out in the early morning and then bring it in the afternoons when the sun got so hot. But on that side of the house, at this window that I look out of when I'm sitting here in my rocking chair. In the afternoon sun comes right in that direction. And it's so hot. And I'm afraid it would boil the hummingbird juice, the mixture, it being right there in the sun like that. But I've thought several times about putting out a hummingbird feeder and being able to see the hummingbirds from my window. I may next year see if hubby could put me a chain. I would want it to be up high so I could see it on the upper part of my window, but low enough I could reach it to change the feeder, to add the mixture in it and all. So if he could get a chain and hook it to the eave of the house, or the esophagus, whatever that's called up there, and let it hang down low enough that I could hook a hummingbird feeder on it and it'd be right there. I may see about doing that next year. It's done too late in the year now to do that, I think. If you live in the South, the deep South, the way down south, not down as far as Florida, but the Gulf Coast type South, and you know anything about hummingbirds, let me know if I would still have, if they would still come around at this time of the year. So anyway, guys, I have brought you down enough and bored you enough. I'm going to let you go and try to, if I can make myself post this video. If you're seeing it and watching it, you know I posted it. If you don't find a Rockin' with Rebecca, you know I decided not to post it. But I'm just really feeling, I guess I just need someone today. I need some communication. I'm exhausted mentally and emotionally and physically. And I don't want to give into it. I don't. That's why I stay busy crafting. And, once I get up and get dressed and get the house straightened up, do the things that, needs to be done, then I get in my craft room and I keep myself busy all day long to the point that I'm totally wore out by evening, by supper time. And then we get supper, and then that's when we sit back and relax and watch our videos. Mostly I do watch them during the days while I'm crafting, but in the evening when we sit back at night, that's when I mainly watch my videos. And I watch crafting videos, I watch doll videos, I watch vloggers and magnet fishing and metal, where people go out on the beach with a metal detector. I like to watch those. I like to watch trash picking, just different things like that. And I watch them until it's time to go to bed, go to sleep. So I try to keep my mind occupied. Alrighty, guys, I'm going to let you go. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I hope you're feeling good. Hope you're able to do the things you would love to do this weekend and not have any trouble or sickness. I hope you all the best for this weekend, and I'm going to let you go. I already said that. Hope you have a great day. And I may have to pull the tripod toward me to turn off the camera. Sorry about the shaking. But anyway, I will see you all in the next one. Bye.